worries, no worries. We can do that.
Hey
Brilliant.
guys, welcome to the live. We are now here in the session. We want to make sure that you get an introduction to who we are. My name is Allegra, the Marketing Medulla, and I am a business coach and marketing strategist, been an entrepreneur for many, many years. And so I love what I do, especially when it comes to supporting women entrepreneurs. Y'all already know who you are. And I have Miss TeeCee on the other line, okay? And she's going to talk to us about what she does. And then we're going to the topic today about effortless marketing. We're going to talk about creating lead magnets. And this is so important for your business because a lot of times we have great opportunity to promote our products and services, but there is a strategic way of how you need to build up to that lead generation process. And we're going to break that down a little bit today, just to start off this series. And then we will also come back every week to give you some extra advice, extra pointers, and give you the sauce so that you're not lost in the game of marketing. TeeCee, go ahead and introduce yourself, and then let's get into the conversation.
Yay! So I love the idea of giving the sauce, everyone. My name is TeeCee. I'm a launch and sales automation strategist, and basically, right, we're going to be breaking things down, because the goal is to give you an idea of how, what to do first, how to set it up so it makes sense for you. You don't want to keep making the same mistakes you literally made 2023. Stop making them in 2024. So guess that's basically what this is about. So listen, okay, and ask plenty questions. The goal for this space is to answer all of your questions. Myself and Allegra will be doing justice to that. So please do ask your questions. Thank you, Allegra.
Absolutely, TeeCee. And I'm over here like, wait a minute. I know I put this live on Facebook. For some reason, it's not connecting. So if you're viewing and you expected this to be on Facebook and you're here on LinkedIn, sorry about that. It looks like it is showing live, but for some reason, it's not connecting. So, all right, well, we'll just repost this. But for those of you who are listening, let us know that you are listening. Drop your links in the chat, your names in the chat. We want to get to know you.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Cut off. Hold on. Hold on. It kicked me out for a second, y'all.
StreamYard isn't playing with you.
Uh-oh. Am I back? TeeCee, am
Yes,
I
you are.
back? Because it's telling me I'm having connection issues for some reason. Let me go ahead and do
You're
something.
good. You're okay. No, you're not. You're not good now. All right, y'all. So we're just having some little connections issues. So just bear with us here. Please send the studio to record. Yeah, so just bear with us here. But in the meantime, if you have questions about your lead magnet, your lead generation, we're breaking it down today. So feel free as much as possible to start dropping all of your messages and all of your questions. Okay, so I'm here with you all by myself right now. So feel free to ask me all of your questions, okay? We're definitely going to be answering them. So I'm just going to be going through to, okay, Allegra is timing him back. Okay, yeah, she is. Over to you, Allegra.
Sorry about that, y'all. My internet can be really wonky here in this area. I don't know why. Trees, I guess. I don't know. So listen, thank you, TeeCee, for the introduction. And for those of y'all listening on LinkedIn, welcome. Drop your names. Tell us you're here. Hashtag live, hashtag replay. And I want to talk first and say that, first of all, thank you for coming on, TeeCee, because you just bring so much added value when it comes to how people need to understand what that part of marketing looks like, because that is where the motion comes into place. When people start to actually start to engage with your business and your products and your services and actually see motion when it comes to from wherever they find you, right? And so you're going to talk about that a little bit because those are the lead magnets. But for me, as a business coach, I want to talk about the foundation of the business first, because a lot of times we are so quick to jump into the product and the service that we've never laid out who the products and services are for. And I think that's such an important part of the marketing mix. When I coach through the product, the marketing mix, which is the product, the place, the promotion, and the price. And we talk about these 4 P's mainly, because if you don't understand what your product is, where you're going to promote that product, which is the place, the price of that product, and then also the promotion piece, which I think is so important, right? And then you have the extra P's that we added, right? Which one of those extra P's are people. You there, TeeCee?
Yeah, yes, I am.
Okay.
I'm listening.
Okay, so one of those P's are people, right? So we have to look at what that looks like for us in our business, because before we start to market to people, there's something called a marketing mix that you put together so that you can know exactly what you're packaging your product as, what it actually has included when it comes to price or price levels, and then also how you're going to promote that product to who? To the people, okay? And who are those people? And that's really where a lot of people get very, very lost. One of the biggest things that I hear a lot is when I ask the question, who are you marketing to? Who are your products for? And one word that comes up a lot, and I'm going to talk about this first, TeeCee, the word everyone. And I'm like, okay, so let's really dig into this, because depending on how much time and money you have, you're going to have to put that into promoting to everyone. So if your target market is everyone, that means that everyone should be buying, right? That means that everyone should be right now in position to buy. So if I'm a 7-year-old girl and I see you have a fitness class going on, right? That's everyone. So why shouldn't I be able to buy that from you?
And I should be able to plug in. Yeah, sure, sure, sure. And I feel like with that particular confusion makes it so difficult to even start attracting the people that can buy from you, that can pay you, that can work with you. Because how do you imagine that everyone is your ideal client and you want to create a lead magnet? Right now, it doesn't really matter what it is. Some people would say, I thought it's just free. Now the question is, if that's the intention, what this happens is when you are connecting or you're trying to attract everyone, there is a 99% possibility that you end up attracting no one. Now if you ever get to attract anyone, it's going to be more or less like, oh, let me just find out what she has going on. It's not, oh, this is what I am interested in, right? And so understanding that fact, for me, I always say this: it all goes into the implementation. Right now, we want to create the lead magnet. We want to create the product. We want to maybe create the offer around the product or around the service. We want to build our sales funnel. The truth is, if everyone is your ideal client, then you don't need a lead magnet, then you don't need a sales funnel. Yeah, if everyone is your target audience, you don't need any of those, because why do you need them when you can just go outside and get everyone? Right? Because the truth is, with your lead magnet, with your sales funnel, it's gearing towards a certain kind of people that just want to buy from you. Right? And so when somebody says to me, everyone, two things, right? If I'm trying to be naughty, I'll be like, okay, you don't need me then, because you shouldn't have problems selling if everybody is your ideal client. You can just go to the street and say, everybody, I have this, start buying, and they start plugging in. Right? So yes, you're so right about that. That's top priority. First things first.
I think when we talk about it, what we're really saying is we're really directing an understanding around what a target audience is. And if we're
True.
saying, well, that's everyone, then it's not targeted. It's basically what you said, TeeCee. It's basically like, throwing it to the wall and hoping it sticks. I think that when we really start to identify who is ready to buy now and who has the need and who's really, experiencing the problem that we're giving a solution to, then it actually makes the marketing effortless, because you're not struggling around, oh my God, how can I get the sale? You're literally pinpointing exactly who needs it right now. And all you're doing is having the conversation, which we call a sales conversation. And whether that starts with a a general 15-minute discovery call, or whether it starts with, a clubhouse stage where you're in a room and you're just telling them, hey, click this link. Like, I want to talk about that part, because once you really get to the place of, all right, well, I think I know my target audience, right? I don't believe, like, for me, business coach, I tell you all the time, it doesn't stop there, because you're constantly niching down on your audience to make sure that you're fine tuning who really needs you right now and who can afford you right now. And when you actually look at your initial target audience, most of the time you're dumbing down the individuals that can afford you, that are attentive at that moment, that are in dire need in that moment. And what really successful businesses do is they identify those people and they keep retargeting them. And they know what kind of product life cycle they have, because every time around the same time of the year, you'll see a lot of the same commercials, right? For
Yeah, you're very right. While you were speaking, I was thinking of something, right? Um, After figuring out who your target audience is, it's very important that we also figure out at what stage, right? Because, like you mentioned, they're different at different stages, what they want at the different seasons, right? So, for example, the people that I would term as, obviously, yeah. So it's a, look at it this way, right? It's a flock of sheep, right? It's like a whole community of people, right? Now, these people are your ideal clients. If you really want to sell, it is important that you know that at the different seasons, you want to fine tune these people even more further, because not everybody will be gearing towards what you think they need, right, at that particular time. With different seasons comes different mentality. Remember, with different seasons also comes different reactions. Take for instance, if your ideal client is a woman, right, maybe with kids, with toddlers like myself, right? Trust me, don't come selling me this is just my honest opinion, right? Don't come selling me maybe a coaching program right now, unless you're ready to maybe just pull me down. Then we hope for February, right? Because right now, all I'm just thinking about, right, is the kids, right? We want to play around with, all of these yummy things. We're thinking about food, the food we're going to be, because that's the season. That's what I'm thinking about right now, right? Now I'm thinking about, okay, the kids are buying this, they're buying that. See, that's my life, right? Now, does it mean that maybe come February down to June, I wouldn't be interested in something else? Yes, it's going to be something else entirely. Now, if you're going to create a funnel or a lead magnet for me right now, it has to be something different. So, what is going to attract me right now is definitely something different from what is going to attract me. It may be like February, March. So let me give you an example since we're breaking it down. So take for instance, obviously I'm still with my business, we're still doing what we're doing, but the truth is, if you say to me maybe, oh, TeeCee, I have a course right now, even if I buy that course, I can't go through that course. I'm not lying to you. I'm just telling you the truth, right? I could hold on the course, right? Now, for me, right now, I feel like a one-on-one engagement, right, will keep me more accountable than when you give me a DIY to go do. Now, there is a likeliness, right, that I might toss it out somewhere, because see, my life is busy and it's busy with the merriment, right? Now, I am not going to be concentrating on that. It doesn't mean that come February, I might not, take it back and remember, say, oh, I've got this from Allegra, So you want to be very intentional. And like Allegra mentioned, right? For me, if I'm going to create or implement the strategies you get, right, from, Allegra, for example, as a business coach, you need to fine tune it enough for you to get that sale, right? Because if you don't know these people, it's going to be very difficult if you don't know me as your ideal client. I love my business, but right now I'm thinking something else when it comes down to payment, right? So you want to meet me where I am, right? How can you get my money without me thinking you're choking me, right? Think about it. Be more creative,
TC, I want
So
to
that's
comment for
basically what it
that.
is.
I want to
Go on.
comment for that because you made a really good point where that's concerned. Because when we think about, where people are in the seasons, right? You're talking about you being a mom, being married with a family, and then we talk about culture too, because that's involved in there. We talk about age, right? Because demographics are involved. We're talking
Yeah.
about affordability, how much money you make, right? So these are things that we know specifically about our clients and customers so that we can make that effortless decision on what to present to you. If I know you're a mom and this is how you move in this season, I'm not going to sell you something or offer you something that's going to make it more inconvenient, right? I'm going to give you something that's going to make it simplified, save you time, and whatever that thing is. I think what we miss in the process, TC, is that we don't become innovative, right? We don't automate. So we get stuck in a place where, oh, well, that's what I've been offering. And so, whatever lead magnet you're offering, and I want you to describe some lead magnets after I say this so people can get an idea, but whatever lead magnet you're offering, it should be attributing to that season. So, right now, we have Black Friday, Cyber Monday, holiday season sales, and all types of things happening. And if you have a lead magnet or an offer that you've been doing all year long and it hasn't changed its language, it has not presented itself in a new and different way, people kind of look at that and they go, well, I mean, I see all these other people that are moving and shaking, but why are you so stagnant? You got the same offer that you've been offering all year long. That looks boring. And so people, when it comes to buying behaviors, they start to realize that you stuck. So these people are advertising and they're telling me that they have deals, they have specials. I want to spend my money somewhere because this is what people do. They find places to spend their money. And one thing I saw you post, TC, is that there are people that will come to you and say, your follow-up game is crazy, right? Because you're like, well, you may not need me right now because maybe that deal isn't for you. Maybe you're in a holiday season and this is not your season. But here's something that will give you something to think about. So you may email them, right? Send out email blasts. You may call them. You may send them an SMS, right? These things are ways that we constantly keep communication with our customers and clients so that they understand that no pressure. Listen, as long as you're in the sales funnel, as long as you click on that lead generation tool and you get down that sales funnel, what we call a nurturing sequence and getting you into the sale is really what people are seeing. And they're not even realizing that that's what it is, because when you automate and when you do it well, like TC teaches you how to do and does for you, it doesn't look salesy. It doesn't feel salesy. It actually feels like you're really having dialogue and conversation.
You're right. Before I share, because now I'm going to be very specific to different industries. I just do like maybe two, three different industries as regards to like lead magnet ideas. But before I say that, right, Allegra, you mentioned the fact that we need to be innovative, and that's so true. So here's the thing with um staying innovative, right? So when people give you their numbers, it's not a mistake, right? When they give you their emails, until they say I'm not interested anymore, right? Give them opportunity, obviously, to unsubscribe. Now, as long as they're there, you need to send them those emails, you need to send them those text messages, you need to call them. Now, for me, I know that it might not be like the regular, right? But you see, when it comes down to sales, I always say this: there is no one fit, one straight line to doing it. I literally, I can switch things up, right? That's me. Okay. Now, let me give you an example of what happened of recent. So I was cleaning out my CRM, right? And then I'm like, okay, just looking at, and then I saw like a very good number of SMS list. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like it's been a while, right? And so I'm like, let me just test it and try. And so I just sent text messages to them. Obviously, you had like some people like there's this guy that is like, stop it. I could feel the stop it from his and I'm like, oh, okay, you know, I could feel it. Like he was like, stop it. So I'm like, okay, right, I get it, right? And then and then I had people say, oh my gosh, TeeCee, like they've been looking for my number, like they missed my number. Now that was a good sign for me. I tell you, just this today, I actually signed two. I'm still waiting on, right? Like I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to my contacts, right? And bring up like even the emails. You know, there's some people that they'll be like, okay, don't send me too many emails. Maybe one email in maybe how many months, right? Those people are much, right? And I'm going back to them and I'm sending them emails, right? Because it's just one email, right? Because see, let me tell you, these people want to hear from you. They just have some conditions, right? And so it's important that you're flexible, right? Because you see, they need you. As long as they're still in your space, reach out to them, right? Leverage them. Take advantage of the opportunity that they're giving you. Somebody's not going to give you food in your mouth and you're expecting them to say, eat it. Like when you put it in their mouth, it means that you know, finish it, right? Right? Okay, so that's a story, right? So when it comes down to lead magnet, there are various kind of lead magnets. Coaches, for coaches, consultants, we can do obviously, you know, your life events, right? They're powerful lead magnets. Your discovery calls, right, are two in one, right? Your discovery calls are lead magnets and also sales closers, right? Now depending on how well you're qualifying your leads, you can actually use them in two different ways, right? Now you also want to leverage I love them, you know, ebook and all of that, especially when you want to set up like a tripwire funnel, right? Or maybe you're just trying to generate leads, exchange something for something. You could do like your ebook, your guide, your checklist. Oh my god, I love quizzes, right? So if you're a coach or a consultant, you do service businesses, you can do quizzes, you can do surveys. Even your surveys are good ones, right? You can do surveys, push out those surveys. People will give you their contact information because they feel like you hear them. They feel like their opinions matter, right? And when people start to feel like their opinions matter in your business, you know, people like to put their thoughts on other people's business. So they like it a lot. So when they feel like, you know, their opinion matter in your business, you know, it's very, 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 they love it. Okay. So those are like few lead magnets you want to leverage. Now, if you have like an e-commerce business, no, let me be very specific. If you're in the food business, right? There's so many. Now, depending on if you're in this chat and if you're in this live and you want specific lead magnet ideas for your industry, you can just put it in the comments and I'll be as specific as possible. But if you're in the food business, because you know I love food, and this period is all about food for me. So let's use food, okay? So if you're in the food business, some ideas you can actually leverage. So you can do your recipe ebook, because now mothers, women will be trying out different recipes. You know, like Thanksgiving Day, everybody's like showing off their cooking skills. That would have been an amazing killer for you if you're done like your recipe ebook, right? Then you can do like cooking classes, because so many people want to like tap in on the new trend of food or snack they can like make for everyone, since this is a period, right? You can do checklist, like ingredient checklist, to say, because sometimes different ingredients can be used alternatively, right? So you can create like ingredients checklist for maybe some kind of recipes that people like, right? There's just a lot of them. You can do even nutrition guide. You can do online cooking class. Oh my gosh, there's so many of them. But you know, because I'm in the spirit of food. I'm just like thinking about food side of it. That's
Wait,
it.
can I say this before we move on to another lead gen? Because
Right.
from a business standpoint and looking at this, because I would talk about marketing more, but we have TeeCee to do that. Okay, me and you, TeeCee and I work together so that we can provide both sides for businesses. So working on your back end and coaching you on the front end. Okay. And it's so important to know that the lead generation tools that she's giving is so incredible, because once you were speaking, TeeCee, I'm like, yeah, especially with coaching, live events, speaking engagements, right? Like if you're going in person events and you're speaking in public or speaking on virtual audio stages, there has to be something that people can take with them, right? And that is just one of the things that sometimes we can show up in a live space, but we're not properly giving people material and opportunity to have an exchange. So whether it's them having an opportunity to give you their email and phone number right there on the spot, use a QR code. TeeCee's so good at creating marketing materials with QR codes. I took the workshop, so I know. And then when we talk about other things, like you were saying discovery calls, I actually had coaches tell me right after the pandemic, right, when we started to get a little bit like wonky on Clubhouse and people started disappearing, or people weren't really buying as much, they were like, I'm getting rid of my discovery calls. And I'm like, why would you do that? Like there are people that said that, right? And I mean, these are just examples, and I love the ebooks, but what you said about food, here's what I just strategized. If you are selling food throughout the holidays, number one, if you have a recipe ebook, that doesn't take a lot to create. You can go on Canva, okay? Start putting together recipes that you already made. Just like literally go in your kit, because if you're already cooking food, if you're already doing things like a restaurant, if you're a restaurant, if you are a caterer, if you are just like a food guru, whatever it is, you literally can take what you have, recipes you already have, put them in an ebook on Canva, and then post that in your IG. And this is how you post it. You put the checklist in your bio to all of your different ingredients, right? So it's like, okay, I tried that on Monday. I tried that. Then you use your nutritional recipes to put in a guide on Instagram. And the reason why I say Instagram is because people look for a lot of restaurants and food places on Instagram. That is one of the main places that they're looking for it. And lastly, hold on, because you said a nutrition guide. So if you put that nutrition guide in the e-guide section of your Instagram, people are going to go to your Instagram. They're going to see the food recipes. They're going to be like, oh, what's that? That looks good. They're going to go to your checklist, and then you're going to correct them into the guide area. They can go through all of your different recipes. And here's what you also do. You repurpose the same videos that you put in your guide on IG, and you use those videos on YouTube, right? Because YouTube, outside of Pinterest and Google, is one of the most major platforms that moms and families and people are going on so that they can get all types of home economics. So I'm done, because that's a little bit of a strategy for y'all, but I want TeeCee to comment on that. TeeCee, I can't hear you. Hold on, is it me?
No, it's me. My mic was muted. So I was saying that I was raising my hands because every weekend I'm trying out new recipes. So I'm like going to YouTube. So when you say go to, I'm like me. I tried out this pancake with um chili pepper with onions. Yeah, that look that look right. Okay, so yeah, so I try like a lot of very funny recipes. So YouTube, so correct. Yeah,
Okay,
very
what
correct.
side of YouTube were you on?
What side?
Pancakes with chili peppers and onions? First of all, yo, that just made me throw up in my mouth. It's like gross. Maybe I gotta see the video.
I was No. I was trying to formulate my own recipe. So I learned how to so I was trying to experiment and see how amazing, maybe if I put like vegetables and all of that in a pancake, how it would taste, and it tasted horrible. Yeah.
It's all good. But I mean, honestly, TC, thank you for the transparency, because there are a lot of people out there that are on YouTube. And here are the three main platforms that everyone's looking for these type of things, right? Especially if you're in a space where it's like health, wellness, anything that goes with the lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
Everyone in the entire world, right? Pretty much for the most part are on Google. Like if I look on Google, I'm like, there's every country out there is on Google. So I love the fact that, you know, Google gives you comp to all other software and systems, and you go and set up a virtual store on Google My Business and don't have to pay a dime. And people from around the world can find you there. And another side of it is that you can improve your SEO on the back end of that. You can build a website on the back end of that Google My Business. You can put all of your contact information. People can give you reviews. And, you know, most importantly, you can post on there. You can set up events. And what that does is it allows Google to even give you more exposure. So sometimes we're so focused, y'all, on, oh, I got to post on my Instagram. But honestly, if I'm really being truly honest, that is a addiction, right? Because we're not actually getting. And when we talked about effortless marketing with targeting the people that you need to that need to see you, what's so important about that is if you are on Instagram and you're not really using a lot of other platforms that speak to the audience that you have, you're really limiting yourself in a very closed space. And I love the fact that if you kind of expand that out, Google is the first place I always tell people to go to because it's the largest search engine in the world. Now, if you decide to expand, right, and go into other platforms, then identify if your customers are there first. Okay. We talked about YouTube being great because we have moms and families and people who are always looking for advice, right? YouTube is like the advice space. It's like we call it YouTube University for a reason. And then you have Pinterest, which is the third largest platform for high engaging analytics when it comes to that lifestyle, health, wellness, fitness. One thing that you can do a lot with Pinterest that I love, and you can speak on this too, because people don't even do this enough. You can create all these lead generation tools and just throw them on Pinterest. And if you know how to market your stuff, right? Because that's what we're talking about, effortless marketing, meaning that you know exactly what your audience is looking for. So you're going to create that e-guide, that nutrition list, that whatever it is that you have to make the video, and you're going to post that from your website to Pinterest. Why did I say that? I say that because when people go to your Pinterest, they're going to click on what they see, which is going to be an easy click of a button from you to your from your website to Pinterest. But for them, when they click on it, it goes straight back to where you put it from your website. So if I post something from my store, like an ebook, an e-guide, an audio, anything that I provide in my store, if I decide to share that to Pinterest from my website, then guess what? People are going to click on it and they're going to come right back to my website, right? It boosts my engagement. It helps with my conversion. And it also gives people an opportunity to have lesser touch points. They don't have to touch 3 different buttons to get to my website or try and figure it out. So I wanted to throw that out there, TC, because when we're talking about being very intentional, right? I think that sometimes we are so involved in the social capacity of a network, right? Like Instagram and Facebook and TikTok. And we're like, well, that's where everybody is. But we're really honestly just addicted to the apps. Now, if you know that your target audience is there, then it's effortless because you literally will convert every single day. But if you're not converting every single day and you feel like the audience is not responding well, don't blame the audience. Don't blame the app, blame yourself. You have to be very strategic about who it is you're talking to. And if those people are there in the spaces that you're in, they're going to respond. It's as simple as that. So I wanted to say that, but go ahead, TeeCee.
Yeah, I love the angle in which we're flowing this, because we started with understanding, who our target audience is, understanding that our target audience can never be everybody, especially if you are gearing towards selling, right? Now we've talked about that. We figured out, okay, lead magnet, all of these things. I love the fact that you then positioned these conversations into where you get to find these people, right? It's also very important that as business owners, we are very truthful to ourselves. Like, literally, the world can lie to us. We can lie to everybody. We say, oh, social media, all, and all that. Yeah, fine. You can lie to everybody, but please resist the urge to lie to yourself, because that's what so many people are doing. No, like, let's laughing, but that's what so many people are doing. You know why? Because then, so many people would tell me, so many people would say, okay, you know what, certain kind of people are on TikTok, for example, but I can still tell you, right, that even if you are a social media manager, even if you're a marketing strategist, you don't have to be on TikTok if you don't want to. If your ideal client is not on TikTok, do not, because you see, TikTok is a different kind of breed, with a different kind of, the way they think is different, right? Now, if your values, how you position yourself doesn't fit that scenario, don't force it. Why are you wasting your time there? Now, this is where it all boils down to
Because
who
someone told
exactly.
them to.
Yeah, because somebody said so. But deep inside your heart that this is not where you belong. So why exactly do you spend your time there? Right? Now, if you know that your goal and who you want to connect with, they always will find themselves to your website. Places like Pinterest, yes, fine, you might not get um 1 million followers in 2 seconds, right? On Pinterest. However, let's look at the goal. Let's look at the people you want to connect with, right? Pinterest is a real deal. When it comes down to evergreen, when it comes down to sustainability, when it comes down to, hey, we're talking SEO, right? When it comes down to, even if the world collapses, the world of social media collapses, what happens next, right? Now, you also want to think about the people your people you're going to work with. So, for example, right, I tell you the truth. There are certain platforms that I am in. I'm there because, obviously, I'm the master of test. I love to like, if I've not tested this thing, my body doesn't like, I have to be there, right? That's just me, right? So I want to firsthand experience it to be able to talk about it. That's why, sometimes I do certain things just because I want to test it. I want to find out, so that when I talk about it, I have informed, knowledge about it, right? And so I finally had my opportunity to do lives on TikTok. I was saying this to myself this morning. I'm sure if you're on Facebook, you would have seen my post, and I said to myself, so what do I do with this account, right? Because the truth is, the people, I between me and you, my clients have TikTok accounts, right? Because we've been able to figure out where the ideal client is. But you see, my ideal client doesn't come straight from TikTok, right? And so I said to myself, okay, what exactly am I going to be using this live to do? I looked at it, and then I posted on Facebook, and I'm like, who wants to go live with me? Let's just go and chit chat, since that's what we can do, right? So that's it, right? However, I know specifically when I want to review for my clients, I know where to go to. And trust me, TikTok is not, it doesn't even tag as one of the places. But do I have a presence there? Yes. Do
Wait,
I have, go on.
but here's what just occurred, TeeCee, because here's the thing, I've been in business for a really long time. So when, TikTok came out and social media was a thing in the pandemic, it was like weird. It was very weird because a lot of people were like, oh, I got to get on social media and I got to set up my business there. And I'm like, what? Like, we never had to do that. So here's what is so intriguing to me is that people actually feel like they do have to depend on social media to make their money in business. And even though it's a very great avenue to do because we are in a social media world, right? But what I do realize is that TikTok is still the platform for people to just be creatives. And if you have a business and you want to include that business over on TikTok, the truth of the matter is that you're going to have to adjust you, like how you present that thing. Because one of the things that they're not going to want to do is listen to you talk about something in business. Like they want fun stuff. Like, you know, even when they're selling things, like, I don't know if you remember the workout pants, but they got TikTok made me buy it. That's not businessy stuff. That stuff is like, that's fun. Like your boo looking at your butt in those really nice, you know, workout pants, or like that hair clip, that like clip really good, or that makeup tutorial. You're going to have fun watching people make a fool out of themselves on TikTok and then buy the crap from you. But if you're not in that space as a creator, as an influencer, to really reinvent yourself, and you're new to business, but you're trying to just get a sale, that's why it looks funky, because you're not, they can see right through it. So I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah. No, but you're right. You're right. And the truth is, think about you. Think about who you want to work with, right? Because the truth is, in as much as I've had people find me from TikTok to my Instagram, the conversation wasn't held on TikTok, right? It went through to Instagram, right? And so it's important that you you are able to figure out that place for conversion, that place for awareness, that place for lead generation, right? But for you to get to this part, you want to lay the foundation first. Trust me, you can't get to this part I'm talking about if you don't have that foundation. Because if you don't have the foundation, you know what you're going to do? You're going to be everywhere building a bunch of is that building? No, attracting a bunch of people to you, and you call it community, and all you do is waste your time, your energy, talk as much as you can talk, play as much as you can play, dance as much as you can play, and your bank account is red. That's exactly what's going to happen, right? And then you go back and say, oh, this coach didn't, because you know some of us don't like to listen even when we're told the truth, right? We still do what we think. Allegra, I don't know if you've noticed this, but one thing I've noticed, especially in this online space, which is why, when you talked about, okay, you know what, you see, you need to have like this membership and blah blah blah. I was thinking about it because you're so right. So many a time, right? We have so many people we're listening to. Please and please, this messes up with the entire thing for you, right? You want to tell yourself you're listening. See, you don't have to listen to me, right? You need to listen to just at least one person, or maybe like one or two people. Oh, one person, please, right? So you don't get confused. Okay. Now, when you want to listen to me fully. Now, if after 3 months I don't give you what you want, then you go somewhere else. But hey, if you're listening to so many people at the same time, you would not achieve anything. That's just the truth, right? And you keep running in circles, wasting money because you'll be investing in the wrong things on the wrong people, looking for results that you cannot achieve.
Well, we got 4 more minutes before we get to the end of the hour, so let's start wrapping it up. I just want to comment on that though, because here's what's so interesting. That's a self-sabotaging behavior in business. When I coach in some of my sessions, I recognize those things even before the sessions start. Like even in a discovery call, I can recognize it, right? Because some of the questions I'll ask is like, well, have you had a coach before? What happened, right? Like these are specific questions because honestly, if you were not wise in your business decisions, right, then your business is not going to go anywhere anyway. Like, a coach can't make your business run for you. A business manager cannot do it all for you. You have to have decisiveness about what it is that you want. Like, I don't care if it's you in general, like, I want this type of life. Decide what you want and go after that and get the right people to help you do that. Myself, I am a serious coach. I do not play around with people with mindset issues, because at the end of the day, we all have to go through challenges and struggles, right? The last thing you want to do is to be the one holding yourself back. So that's when I pass you on to like Ariana, and she'll get your mind together. But that could take some time for people. And so before you just jump business, right, get that in order, because if you get in a business, you'll do exactly what you're saying, TC. You'll self-sabotage away. You'll use the wrong apps because you're saying, oh, well, if I just do this and, I'm just following the voice of God. And I'll be like, that God is not chaotic and he is not confusing. So the fact that what you just said is confusing and chaotic don't sound like it along with God. And then on top of that, and that's only because I'm a believer, y'all, so I'll talk about it. And on top of that, when it comes down to your strategy, okay, marketing strategy is so simple. It can be effortless once you build that foundation for your business and you know exactly who you're talking to and in what seasons. And that takes you actually looking at information, dissecting data, knowing who you're talking to, like TC saying, like take them through a sales funnel process and have a conversation with them. And if you're not doing these things, right, and this is what people will call work. Oh, that's a lot of work. Well, what did you expect? Because if you want to have a business that's going to run, employ you, employ other people, expand out into the state, city, wherever you want to be, or operate in multiple cities, multiple countries, wherever you want to do your business, you have to be able to have a level of expansion. Business is never made to stay stagnant. It never will. It never has. So if you are in this space where, and I just want to say this lastly, TC and I have really come together in talking about what kind of programs are coming up in 2024, because we have corporations that are really like moving and we're like, all right, we want to help y'all move along. But for a lot of individuals who we do work with, who are really in the startup phase, we really are curating a space to say, start where it is wise for you to really build off of a foundation and get the right support from people like myself and TeeCee to guide you, and be very open to that guidance. If you're not coachable, do not hire a coach. If you do not want to learn the systems and the processes in your business, then do not go through this process of having a business, because even if you have staff members and people you hire from Fiverr or wherever, they're going to do the work for you in that time. But when they leave, you're still stuck with the work. Okay. So I'm done. And TC, go ahead and wrap it up and then we'll give them some offers.
Okay, so I agree. I agree. Every single thing. Your business is your business, right? Your business is your business. Okay, so I know that we have the money to pay, but the truth is there's an extent to which your money can get you. Okay, you want to also be interested, be invested, right? Putting your time to learn these things, because at the end of the day, it only makes you a smarter entrepreneur to make smarter decisions for your business, right? This is not for anybody else other than you. Now, I'm not saying do it. Obviously, I'm happy to always do it for you. However, in doing it for you, I still need you to know what exactly I'm doing. Don't come to me clueless. I don't want you clueless. I love my clients knowledgeable, right? And so that's why I love to take it, like literally explain to you step by step, break it down so you know what exactly is happening. Don't go clueless. Like once you're done with me, I need you to feel like a pro, right? So yeah, that's really all I would say. But make sure that the basic foundation is well established, which is figuring out who you want to serve, where you want to find them, how you can tap into that space that you can take up for yourself. How can you connect with them? In what way do they want to be connected with? And then creating that lead magnet, setting up those sales funnels, doing all of those yummy things will no longer be a problem for you. Yeah, that's it.
I love it. Well, here's the thing. It's a holiday season, and here's what I feel that people need to learn, right? Number one, if you want to learn the foundation of your business, I offer a complimentary resource called the Business Planning Blueprint. I will give that out now in the chat for anyone who wants to just go ahead and drop the word blueprint, and I'll put the guide in there for you, or I'll DM it to you. I'm not going to open it up to the public just in the regular comment section, because I want to see who really is serious about where you want to grow in your business. If you feel like you have been working on your business, but you still don't understand your marketing mix, who you're serving, the people, you don't have your promotions set up for the quarter or the year, you don't have pricing together, you're like, oh, I don't know how to price my stuff. All these things are questions that we get all the time, but it's all a part of the marketing mix. And the reason why, this is how I know that people are not foundationally getting their business together, because they'll start with TeeCee and they'll say, oh, put a funnel together. And TeeCee's like, well, who are you talking to? And everybody. And it's like, no, you're not. And that makes TeeCee's job harder, because now she can't really identify who it is that she needs to put the information out there for. So I'm here to really guide you in that foundational principle so that you understand the wholeness of your business. And it doesn't take more than I've gone through the business planning blueprint in less than a day. It just really is about what it is that you already have in place and what it is that you need to get in place. All right. So just go ahead and put blueprint in the comments for that. And I also want to offer this because I have technology classes that are being offered to the W.I.N community, but I'm doing them in AJCEO. And what they're going to be doing is taking a lot of people who just got in business, like especially around the pandemic time. They jumped into business and now they're stuck because they don't know how to operate the back end of like Zoom or Clubhouse or Wix website, or, I don't know how to like the button's not going where I want it to go. I don't know how to put that link there. And I've worked with clients that literally even setting up their Calendly, these are just simple software and technology functions that if you have not learned these things while you're operating your business, it's going to be frustrating, because while you're trying to get an offer out there to someone, hey, I just need to create something on Canva real quick, you don't know how to operate the features. So you're stuck trying to create something on Canva for a whole week and a half. So I want to make sure that if you're feeling like that you come to these technology classes, and they are complimentary to anyone who is a member in the W.I.N community. And I'll drop those links as well. TeeCee, what do you have to offer them?
I love those offerings because you all might definitely need that class for what I have for you. So basically, if you are in that space where you want to attract quality leads, right? You don't know where to start, you don't know what lead magnet is, you don't know how to create one. It's one thing to have a lead magnet, it's another thing for you to set up your lead magnets for quality leads and sales conversion. Now, if you want to do that as well, if you're thinking, what are the different ideas, lead magnet ideas for my industry? So now the lead magnet cheat sheets is a 7-page lead magnet cheat sheet. Basically, it has, I think one page has workbook kind of scenarios, just so you're able to fit in things about your business, so you're able to set up, I'm using the right words here, set up your lead magnets for quality leads and more sales. Now, if you want this, just comments or DM me cheat sheets, right? And I'll send it to you. Like I said, it's super, super explanatory. It tells you what lead magnet is, how to create one. I think I actually had to break down this thing itself. What's the name again? I had to break down how to do it using Canva as well, right? So you can do that, then you know how to set it up using whatever platform that you want to use, and also different ideas for your specific niche, your specific industry. So that's it. All you need to do is DM me or comment the word cheat sheet. It's free, okay? No, it's complimentary. I don't like to use the word free. It's complimentary.
Wait, okay? Can you spell it out for them? Because that sounded weird.
Okay. Okay, you know what? Comment or DM me lead magnets
Okay.
together. Lead magnets together. That works. I
No, I
will
thought you
send it.
cursed for a second. I was like, wait, what? You just called me? Come on, sis.
Let's use lead magnets.
But yeah, to make it easy for y'all, just put lead magnet in the comments. We'll get it. We'll
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah.
Thank you, TC. This was a great conversation. This is a great, seminar, teaching, whatever you want to call it, because honestly, you guys can always get gems and value out of what me and TC come together and drop. I've literally been in rooms with TC and I'm like, we're just giving up like so much and people are walking away with like a whole strategy. So I want to make sure that you're really able to absorb this. So share in the comments. Tell us what you learned today. Let us know if there are any questions you have for our next part of this series, which is going to be next week, next Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm the US, TC is in the UK. I'm not even going to talk about what time it is over there. And I want to make sure that y'all get a chance to really get to know us better. We have been doing this for a couple of years now, TC, and just really like talking to the public about what marketing really means. And a lot of people have followed us and really followed through. And so we want you to also do the same. Be a part of our spaces, come into the W.I.N community as we are both leaders, and also make sure that you participate in our programs and our services. And also we have lots of lead generation things that we have created as well that you can take advantage of. So don't sleep on it. All right. Thank you, TC.
Thank you. Good night.
All right. Y'all have a great night.